All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join me today and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on the YouTube channel for G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for subscribing. As always, I want to see real quick while I have you guys here how many subs we have. I think we're nearing 8,000. So let's see if I can get this going. Studio. Let me check it real quick. I promise it won't take long. I should have done this earlier, but here we are. We are now officially at 7,965 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. If you have anybody who would enjoy these videos or actually benefit from watching this daily, please share this channel. Really do appreciate it, of course. Without you guys, there is no channel. It wouldn't be worth doing. All right, good morning. Good morning. Before we begin, of course, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, white logo, click on that. Subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, like our videos, comment your questions. We're here to help in any way we can. Let's talk about it. Dow futures up 43 points, NASDAQ up 24. S&P is green, up 4.5 points. Russell is down 0.27%. Thankfully, we got out of IWM yesterday. Crude oil is down on an API build. 83.42 a barrel, down 1.46%. Gold futures still kind of hovering around that 1800 level, 1794 up 0.05%. Silver futures up 24.17 an ounce, up about 8 cents, up 0.38%. Euro dollar up 21 pips, 1.1616. 113.71 for the dollar yen, down 44 pips. Ethereum right at 4,000 on the future side. Bitcoin, that's down 5%. Bitcoin is at 58,940 on the future side, down 4.9%. 10-year treasury yields are slipping 43 basis points, 1.576. Again, we talked about that ceiling short term of 1.7 keeps rejecting. The dollar index is down 0.12% at 93.83, and the VIX is down 0.44% at 1591. Okay, so a lot to go over today. So let's go over some earnings and reactions. A couple of names that did come out. Microsoft had a really great number on their quarter. You can see that they're up as well. They were price upgraded across the board. AMD had their call as well. Solid numbers, but again, the stock didn't react accordingly. So again, if you played earnings, this is why you got to be extremely careful. Again, really not much movement here. Let's take a look at Google, which is Alphabet. 27.93. It's at 27.93 pre-market. So again, not much movement. So all the call writers, option writers, are making the money, calls and puts. So there you go. Twitter is barely up a little bit. It was up as much as high as 63.86. I did a little light risk Twitter earnings calls. There was some volume on the 70 calls for this week. I did see some nice volume. See if I can 65, excuse me. Let's see how the reaction goes. But right now it is down. It is actually up pre-market, but not as much as it was before. Those are the reactions. Also, McDonald's reported strong earnings, same-store sales with higher prices. They just tapped the 200-day moving average on the 1 hour. They are up about $6 pre-market. Boeing also reported earnings. They are up about $4 pre-market. Robinhood reported really crappy numbers. I don't own Robinhood. I don't like Robinhood. I like the platform. I have some of it. I have my platform on it too. But Robinhood 35.30 here. We'll take a look at some pre-market movers to take a look. But that's really the gist of what has been reported. The other one was Spotify. They reported stellar, nice earnings as well. They're up about $16 pre-market. General Motors also reported as well. They were up pre-market as high as 59 and then fell. Now they're down about $2, well, less than that pre-market. So again, a lot of earnings. If you want to know details on these earnings, feel free to take a look at our Twitter page. We posted it all for you. So feel free to take a look. Let's take a look at Tesla pre-market. They are up about $35 pre-market. $15 pre-market right now. So looking pretty solid again for Tesla shareholders. Where was I here? AMD. Okay, let's take a look at some pre-market movers and we can go over what's moving, what's shaking. Also, one more here was Visa. Visa showed some really good resiliency in the economy for spending and travel spending and retail spending. 226 now. I had someone DM me asking me if they should play calls on Visa. I said absolutely not. So you're welcome, whoever DM'd me. That was personal, my personal Instagram. I don't get to DM much there, but if you do want to follow me, it's at CEO G.A.R Capital. My apologies for not. I had like 2,000 people I had to approve. I don't spend all my days approving people, so I have it on private. Obviously, had some issues with people copying exactly my page and pretending to be G.A.R Capital. So just a word of advice: if you're not sure if someone DM you is part of the team, make sure to DM the official at G.A.R Capital. There is no underscore, there is no nothing else. Just be careful, let us know and say, hey, is this person work for you? Or you can message me directly at CEO G.A.R Capital. I'm not verified, nothing I could do. G.A.R Capital is not verified, nothing I could do. That's all on Instagram. If they decide to, great. It would definitely help with the scammers out there trying to beat us. But again, if you have any questions, something doesn't look right to you, if someone's offering you Bitcoin or Bitcoin mining or crypto crap, that is not us. So understand that before you send any money to anyone, make sure to verify you have the right people. I definitely don't want you to do something crazy like that. So just be careful. All right, let's take a look at some pre-market movers. Anything that stands out to me. I don't know any of these. I've seen Naked Brand before, but that's it. Boeing's up 2% pre-market. Coca-Cola also reported great EPS numbers. They're up 2.72%. Intel up 1.76%. McDonald's up 2.5%. Visa's down 2.5%. But that's the movers today on earnings. General Motors down 2.65%. Ford is down with that as well. General Motors had a great quarter from the numbers I saw. I had to do a little more of a deep dive. Tesla's up 2.29%. AMD down 1.24% as we saw. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100. AMD down 1.24% after earnings. Facebook is still down 0.24%. I said 315 was my level to buy some. I bought some at 323. So I'll wait for a little more of a slide. A break of 300, I will be adding more Facebook. Nvidia's down 0.35% pre-market. And Texas Instruments as well is down 5.73% with JD.com down 2.18% this morning. But again, as we know with Tesla, pre-market doesn't really mean a huge thing. They could bounce, they could fall anytime. So again, remember, it's light volume on pre-market, light liquidity. It's really when the 9:30 bell hits is when we see things. Hopefully, I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, my mic is on. Great. Last thing I want to see is I'm going through all this and questions are not answered and you guys can't hear me. That would really suck. So that's where we are. Let's talk about crypto this morning. Crypto is down pre-market. Well, before the markets open. Let's go ahead and update this. Let's see if I can get it going. The last 24 hours, Bitcoin is down 5%, Ethereum down 4%. The only thing that's standing out that screen, yes, of course, is Shiba. Yes, I do own Shiba, but again, they are rocking. The last 7 days, they're up 100%. How about that on that Shiba? But again, let's take a look at the chart here. On the daily, again, you could see rejection of all-time high, or hit all-time highs, then came back down a little bit. Right now, we're at 59,000. If you take a look at the 4-hour chart, kind of just sideways action. But if we're taking a look at moving averages on the daily, the major moving averages, we're still above the 50, we're still above the 100, we're still above the 200. So really nothing new. I'm still dollar cost averaging as I go along. Again, these are the ebb and flows of crypto. These are the ebb and flows of Bitcoin. We know the drill. So that's where we are this morning. We also had some news come out regarding durable goods. Wholesale inventories were less than expected, 1.1% versus 1.2%. Advanced good trade balance is more than expected, down negative 96 billion versus negative 88 billion estimate. Durable goods down 0.04% in terms of durable goods orders. The estimate was a negative 1.1%. So again, we're getting some demand, some really good signs in the economic backdrop. Nothing has really changed in regards to the thesis. We're still bullish. I still believe that any dips here is an opportunity for some end of the year buying, for some end of the year strength. Again, the backdrop is all pointing to bullish to me. We've been saying it. I've been saying it ad nauseum. I know it gets old. You're probably saying to yourself, Carlos, is there a time that you're not bullish? Of course, 2020, back in February when we were falling. But again, other than that, we just had a recession. I don't know why people want things to die out, but again, that's a whole nother discussion. But that's where we are this morning. Let's answer some questions. Good morning. McDonald's is great long-term, Javier. I think they're great. I used to own it. I sold it for some profit. I think like 45%. I think it's a great company to own long term. If you like McDonald's food, you should own McDonald's stock. Chris asks, morning Palantir thoughts, weekly form, strong base in the 0.5 fib. Yep, the crypto catalyst news. The problem with Palantir is that it doesn't freaking move. That's about it. I think people have asked me 10 years from now, is there a stock that you think is going to gain long term and be like kind of like a Tesla that's going to really pop? In my opinion, it's Palantir. I love Palantir long term. I think with what they do in terms of software and security and working with the government and now crypto, I think it's a great catalyst, but it's horrific to trade. I think you just own it long term and just hold it. Spotify did report earnings today. I would not trade it. Was it Spotify? Shopify reported, but Spotify did not. So you can see on the daily rejecting that 200-day moving average. Again, it is up. Oh, Spotify reported. I apologize, not Shopify, Spotify. And they're up pre-market. Would I trade it here? No. I'd probably wait for the for reaction at 9:30 in the morning and see where we go from there. Spotify is okay. I actually use their app. I used to own shares, but I sold that for some profit as well. Again, it's nice stock, but I don't think I want to own it long term either. Morning, sir. Do you think we'll get PayPal back? PayPal, we closed yesterday for minus 60%. It broke the 50-day moving average. It did fill that gap. So the question is, do we get a bounce? But for right now, I would not touch it. I do like PayPal to buy more at 225. I'm a shareholder, but I got out of that for 60% loss on it. We broke the moving average, you just move on. Do you believe in ESG long term? If you can recommend an ETF, I don't know much about ESG or at all, so I really can't give you any information on that. Shopify, I think Shopify is fine long term. Again, it is expensive relative to Amazon. I think Amazon's a better play than Shopify, but Shopify is not bad to own. Just kind of temper expectations. I had some calls on spot. Which ones? I don't know which ones you have. If you had, for example, the 260s, then you're probably happy today because you're going to be in the money. The 265s, you're in the money. So it really depends on where you are. Long-term purchase for Facebook and Microsoft. Microsoft is consistent as it gets. I think Microsoft is better than Facebook, obviously, but Facebook is still good. But I think Microsoft is one of the best ones to own. It should be definitely a bedrock of any portfolio. Why was there some price cuts on V? Numbers look good. Again, that's really based on forward guidance and what the investment banks are expecting. So again, I think Visa is fine long-term. I think MasterCard is fine long-term. It's horrible to trade, but it's great to own long-term. Right now, you're just in a sideways motion right now since August. Kind of frustrating if you are a holder of Visa, yet you see other stocks moving, but that's just the way it is. Visa doesn't really move like that. It's pretty stable. Morning Carl's thoughts on AMD puts or riding strong to the upside. AMD had a really good call. I liked what they were reporting. Good stuff all around. Demand for PlayStation and Xbox for their chips. Again, we always get these kind of falls with AMD. More than likely, it'll tap the 120 level, which is the 100-day moving average on the 1 hour. If that does, possible calls will be in play. I do expect a bounce in AMD. Let's see if we can get a price. Do you see Wish finding a bottom here? Wish, pretty much a penny stock now. Finding a bottom, good. It's very tough to say. It's very hard to call a bottom on Wish. If you like it, not a better price you're going to get now. But again, if you want to own it, keep in mind that you could have a little more downfall to 460. I don't want to own this stock. Thoughts on Snap entry level? I don't like Snap whatsoever. I think Snap is a shitty company and a shitty app personally. So again, if you own it, that's up to you. Daily active users and all that stuff. I think Twitter's a better platform. I think Facebook is better. Even TikTok is better, obviously. But Snap, I don't see it. I think $50 is your support. But if you wanted to buy there, that'd probably be the level to do it. There is some gaps here to the upside. All we did was break down and fill that gap. Now we have another gap here. So I would say Snap, I'd rather trade it than own it. Should we wait for NVIDIA to get to 250 before entering any calls? NVIDIA, again, has had such a run-up. Again, I would be extremely careful on it. It did break 252 yesterday. If you bought calls that day, which was yesterday, you'll be hurting today. So again, I'd be very careful on it, and I would not touch NVIDIA yet. They're not reporting earnings this week, but again, it's a big run-up, so I'd be careful with it. Starbucks, I like long-term. I don't even have to look at that chart. I own it. Just own it. Don't trade it. Own Starbucks. I think it's a great company. Novavax filed for UK vaccine authorization swing. Again, you can see here it is tapping the 150 level, the 200-day, unless it breaks that maybe cleanly with 155 maybe for a swing for upside. But here right now, it looks like that's resistance. I'd wait. Coinbase, again, is going to be down today. Obviously, with crypto, it was closed at 319. Now it's at 311. So again, this could be an opportunity to possibly buy some more. I think below 300 is fine. But here, I wouldn't do anything. And I would not buy calls here as of yet. Maybe a break of 320, then you could target 335, maybe 340s for a longer term swing, but wait for a 320, 318 break. Does Apple run up to 150 by end of the week in your opinion? I do. I think Apple does run up higher, and I think it does break out to at least 150, 250, if not maybe 154. I think they're going to have a great call. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, their peers in terms of mega cap tech had great earnings, so I expect them to run up a little bit. What happens to the housing market when interest rates rise next year? Well, that really depends on how much. Again, if you're talking about 25 basis points, fine. Keep in mind, rates just went up too on the 30-year, and we still had mortgage applications up week over week, up 0.4%. So again, it really depends on how much we're talking. But interest rates are, the 10-year is actually down 3.27% today. So again, I think the idea of interest rates running up this year is probably unfounded. Next year is a whole different story. And you're welcome, Ben. All right, that's a lot of questions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check in with my YouTube Premium guys. It's our second video of the week, and next week we do nothing. It's every 2 weeks, 2 videos. We got a couple of trades open, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'll catch you guys on YouTube Premium here in a little bit, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Wednesday, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. Cheers.